So you know that feeling you get, that little butterfly floating around your stomach before you present live online? Maybe you get the same one in person, but online there's a whole nother set of things to stress about and worry about. It's the tech, it's the setup. Is it gonna look good? Are people gonna be able to hear me? Are they gonna see my screen? All those things that come into your mind. In this video, I'm gonna give you a process by which you'll eliminate all the tech stress, all the setup stress, and you'll know everything is set up to work. Now, I'm making this video for clients of mine and people who want to see exactly how to do the process, but I may choose to share this with other groups as well. So what this is I'm going to go live in 1 hour from now. So the setup before an online presentation, whether it's you're going to have 15 people, 100 people, or 1,000 people, it's the same process. 1 hour before you go live, we're going to do a restart of the computer. And the restart of the computer is going to get rid of all the things that we're working on in the background. So save everything, do a restart, and then I'll walk you through the process of setting up utilizing free software. But even if you weren't utilizing the free software to have your own home studio, this is the same process you'd go through. But I'm going to go through my setup checks for using OBS Studio to present online. The setup is designed so you can see my 3 screens. If you don't have the 3 screens, you're only going to go off of the 2 or even the 1. Same process and checks apply. So the very first thing that I'm doing here is you'll see I have my OBS Studio open. And that's what this is right here. This here is OBS Studio. So I have OBS Studio open, and I wouldn't even need to have the virtual camera on. Nothing's on. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my presentation. So I happen to use PowerPoint, although I'm fluent in Canva and Keynote and those other areas. This is a PC, so I'm going to use PowerPoint. And you just pick and bring up. This is the challenge that I'm doing today. So I'm going to bring it up and open it. And I'm just going to check it first. I'm going to have to find my spot, find my location, and I know where I want to begin. Let me zoom out just a little bit on this. The zoom out feature here will let me know exactly where I want to start today. And today is going to begin right here. So this is my first slide for today. I'll bring it up in presentation mode. And now I have to go into, this is for, there's a similar thing in Canva and Keynote, but for PowerPoint, double check that you're in slideshow and then you're in setup slideshow. You want to browse by an individual window. That's an important little key point here. That way, when I put this thing into play, just like this, and you know, I'll bring it up so that it's actually, you can actually see the slide, what it's going to look like and do. So now the slide is going to look like this. So here's essentially my first slide. I'm going to bring it up now so that, and here's my who will benefit. So I'm just checking to make sure everything's working, everything's good, perfect. So now I want to bring this in. I'll make it a little bit smaller, and I'm placing it right next to my software. Now you'll notice my camera's right here, right in the middle of the screen. So I'm actually looking through my camera to see the presentation. Easier for eye contact, easier for being able to remember what you're presenting without having to look like you're looking down or looking over. So everything's right here on the side. And now I'm going to check to make sure that when that comes into frame, yeah, no, that's perfect. So now I can resize it maybe just a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger. And all I'm doing is making sure that it looks good for the screen. That's all I'm looking to do here. Does it look good? Okay, that's going to be a really good match. And you'll see as I advance the slides also come up here, right? So piece by piece by piece, I'm all good to go. All right, that's the first check. Next check is I may want to take them online. I may want to take them to my website. I may want to take them to an application. I may want to take them to their next step or a free gift. So I'm going to open web browser. I happen to use Chrome, but you know, Safari, or if you use Microsoft Edge or Firefox, whatever your web browser is, open your web browser up. And I place mine on the right-hand side of the screen here. Now this is only if you have 3 screens. If you didn't have 3 screens, you would size it kind of down here, and that would be okay. But on this 3rd screen, I set it in the upper right corner. I'll move the microphone and myself out of the way. I set it in the upper right corner. And I'm going to use about half the screen, maybe a little more than half. And I'm going to go for now, I'll just type in, actually, I'll type in the dashboard that I'm going to need, because I know I'm going to show them the dashboard for the event. And that is under my website. Yep. Just type that in. You can tell I'm actually doing this for real. This is not set up and pre-scripted. This is live. I'm going to be doing this. Studios.com/VIP dashboard page will work. That'll work just fine. Okay, so here's my dashboard. Here's my website. As I scroll down, everything's looking good here. Set to go. Okay, so now when I bring in, and I'm going to check my web scene, and here everything's perfect. So now I just bring it a little bit wider just to fill. So now I have myself, I have my website. It's working good on the software. It's brought in anything that I do here. If I see, keep an eye here as I scroll down, it's also being captured over here. This is what they're going to see. They're not going to see this. They're only going to see what shows up in this little box. So as I scroll down, whatever's here works. That's perfect. Okay, so I can take them to the web. Again, that's an application. That's a challenge. It's a gift. It's whatever I want to give them. Here on this page, this dashboard happens to be everything. Now I'm ready to open up Zoom. I don't open up Zoom first. I open up Zoom actually last. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Zoom account. Now, for this purpose, I'm not going to go into the actual meeting. I'm just going to go into a regular hosted meeting with video on, and that will simulate, for this purpose, this tech check, what the link would be. But normally, yeah, I would normally go right into the actual link. So I set Zoom up on this screen over here, and I always have my participants open, and you just click on the people to do that, and I always have my chat open. So I got participants and I got chat. Now, you'll notice this screen here. This is looks like an error code because it is an error code essentially, right? It's looking for OBS, but OBS is not broadcasting. So on OBS, once I'm set and I've checked my scenes and I'm ready to go, oh, another check. I have a scene that utilizes, and please forgive this little camera here. That's you guys. That's so you can see, but that's not normally there. What's here is I have a pad of paper. This pad here is what I'm able to write on and engage an audience and walk them through a process. This is critical. And all I do is make sure that everything's lined up, and I bring a pen down. I leave a pen on here so that I'm all set to go and I can write live in real time. Now I'm good to go. All right, so what I do here, and I'm just going to go back here so you can see, this is, once I hit start virtual camera, boom, I pop up on my Zoom screen. So I'm in good shape right there. And I just look to see that these windows match. I also check to make sure there's no virtual background on in Zoom, and I have the right camera selected. The right camera, by the way, is OBS virtual camera. So now I know I'm good to go. Now, for the next part, this is where I'd have a co-host in here. We're getting ready to do the meeting. So for this part, I'm going to stop my video because I need you to see it as the test that it is. I test to make sure that I have the Zoom scene properly aligned, meaning I'm bringing whatever's on Zoom, usually an audience, I'm bringing them here. So when they have me pinned, when they're looking at me, everything is in one place, one shape. I can also go to a scene that probably has Q&A. So this would be my meeting chat. So anything that goes into the meeting chat, and I'm just putting some of this so you can see it, anything that goes into the meeting chat, I will be able to show the audience. Again, when there's an audience here, in 50 minutes there will be, this is where they will show up. So now at this point, I would be ready to bring in my co-host, being ready to bring in maybe my panelists or my team, and then the rest, I would just leave. I'm going to leave it just like this, leave it all set up. I'm not going to touch a thing, because if I wasn't doing this demonstration, this would be the Zoom link for the actual meeting. People would start piling up in the waiting room, and I could strategically bring in my team and then bring everybody in, maybe start by playing a video. But I wanted to show you the simple setup, the routine, if you will, on how to make sure you're set to go in a tech check before your event. You're all set to go. Everything's looking good. Now, computer's fresh, computer's ready to go. Just leave it. Just leave everything exactly the way it is. Go get a cup of coffee, go have a water, go take a walk, whatever it is you do, you're now ready. There's no more stress. There's no worrying. There's no freaking out. You're a pro.